is the moment podcast fans around the world have been waiting for. Sponsored by Glovebox. It's time for the Cease and Desist Podcast.
Oh yeah. What's up, Sean?
This is probably going to be the best podcast in a long time.
Since the last podcast, that was the best podcast.
The one when Andy wasn't on.
Correct, so. Which is again the case today. Andy is not with us. Now, this is his number 2 unverified absence, if I'm not mistaken.
Number two.
Number 3, you get kicked out.
Are we doing that?
Yeah, we're on a 3strike policy here.
Should we send him a cease and desist?
Probably.
You should cease and desist.
Stop talking about the podcast that you're not on. Should we do interviews for his spot? I think that would be even better.
Yeah, that's
like,
fun.
I think Danny's taking applications. The last I heard.
I love this.
There we go.
I mean, we can have a very specific type of person on the podcast to fill that very shallow void that Andy left.
Shallow void. Oh, man.
Shallow void. Which was also my nickname in college.
It happens. Wow. Real quick, before I introduce our guests, I want to make note of something that's extra spectacular today, and it's Sean Mulhern's hair. Sean.
Yeah! Sure it is.
Your hair is coming along like I've never seen. You're blossoming like a flower here in springtime. It's beautiful.
It really is. It's perfect timing with the spring. It's coming out.
Let me ask you a question, if you don't mind.
I don't.
How many people have asked you if that's your real hair over the past 2 weeks?
Countless. Countless so far. My own kids. Which is true.
So what we're hoping to do with Sean's hair is we want to cut it, and eventually, not yet, we want to make it into a hat, and we want you to wear the hat while you grow your hair back out. That way, if someone says, hey, is that a hat? You take off the hat, your hair's still underneath.
And it's absolutely, this is a hat.
Absolutely.
Thank you for asking. What do you think of my hair?
Thank you for pointing that out to me. Yep. So the next stage of the hair is the cornrows.
Cornrows, yeah, we got to see how, I don't think it's that much longer. You're
close.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
You're close. Why don't I bring our guests into the conversation and see what they think about Sean's hair? Today we have
letting this whole thing unfold.
Yeah.
Today we have Margeaux and Danny Boy, Mr. Danny Jimenez from GoGiles. Welcome, guys. I'm super pumped about this podcast. You guys are 2 spectacular human beings, and I'm so excited to talk to you. What do you think of Sean's hair?
I mean, I don't think it could get any better.
Really on the spot right there.
I mean, salt and pepper, brother. I'm here for you. I'm just amazed by the amount of time you have to cook to do this fucking hat. I'm sitting here, I'm like, who has the time for that? I'm like, you know what? Good for you.
It doesn't. It actually doesn't take that long. Like if I go to bed tonight and wake up tomorrow, I could run a comb through and it'd be just like this. But I've got a question for you. When did you start going gray? When did the salt and pepper come in for you?
13.
All right. Yeah, we're about the same. I was like 14, 15, and then college, it just
it blossomed.
And now it's just void of almost.
It was great when I was 16 because everybody thought I was at least 27.
You're buying booze for everybody.
It worked out well, right?
It worked out great.
Perfect for that fake ID.
Yeah. Too bad we don't have
Margeaux and I have been friends since I thought since we were at a very particular moment in time, but apparently our parents say something different. Like I went to your 11th birthday party. I do not remember that 11th birthday party to save my life, but apparently we've been friends since we were 11 years old.
Because you were drunk at the party because of your salt pepper hair. You were boozing it up.
You guys have known each other that long?
Wow.
We really became friends in astronomy in 9th grade when we sat next to each other.
I mean, that's a good class. It's out of this world.
Got it. Let me ask you this. Who's the smarter out of the 2 of you when it came to astronomy? Who cheated off who? Got it. So you cheated off Margeaux. Great.
Awesome. Margeaux slept through a lot of astronomy. I don't know about that. We both.
She was dead ass asleep, but then she's like Ursa Major, bitch, and goes to sleep.
Saturn. The answer's right. Saturn.
How does she know that?
That's hilarious. So where do I even start with you guys? There's so much to unpack here. It's so good. Tell us about GoGiles. I want to hear all about it. I want to hear how you guys came together to start this company and what it does, what you guys do on a regular basis. Give me the lowdown.
It's so hard. Every time someone asks me, what do you do? I'm like, oh God, I have to prepare this monologue.
And this is not a job interview, so there's no wrong answers here.
It is an acting interview, though, because it is a monologue.
I mean, really, the consulting firm now focuses on really helping either insurtechs themselves or agents or carriers figure out the true business problems they need to solve. That's like at the crux of it, because the first thing that I noticed and how this even came into being, I'm an agency owner and I have been for a while, but I've run the gamut in insurance. I started as a CSR and then I went into an agent and then I went into operations, then eventually bought the agency and became an owner. So like I've been through it. And when I started vetting techs as a COO, I was like, who's in charge here? Like what, which one of you knows insurance? Because it became really clear to me that like on the surface, they would solve the problem or they would say, look at this wonderful piece of software we built. But when you dug into it, it was like, this is surface level. Nothing that you're presenting to me is solving any actual issues I have inside of my agency.
Sure.
And so that's kind of what pissed me off, honestly. And I decided to go, okay, once we sold the book of business, I'm going to go focus on changing this because this is terrible.
God, it's like I'm looking at a mirror right now.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this too.
Yes.
Outside. Like that was my experience, and they shall remain nameless. The pieces of tech that I purchased, but it really wasn't centered at all on whether or not what I was being sold was going to help me, and in turn, actually could have destroyed the company. Like,
sure.
And I see this happen a lot where they're sold a bill of goods. It's expensive. Tech is not cheap. There's implementation. There's training. There's all these things that go into changing process inside an agency specifically. And you go through this whole process and it's expensive and time consuming. And then the thing doesn't work. And now you're scrambling. I've got calls coming in. I can't find policy information. I can't issue COIs. My accords are everywhere. And I don't think that there was a lack of understanding and compassion about like what selling technology in that state can do to a business owner, especially small business owners. Because a lot of us are, 15, 20 agents and under.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we don't have multi-million-dollar, reserves to weather something like that. And I think that's really what angered me to the point where I was like, all right, I'm going to go try to do something about this.
I love that. Don't understate this. How hard was it to jump over from insurance to technology? Because I know what my answer would be, and I know what Sean's answer would be. That's why his hair looks so amazing. Do it. How hard was it for
He's
you?
all wig right now.
How hard was it for you? This is a softball question, but how hard was it for you?
It was hard. It was difficult. It took what had to happen was I had to step away from the agency, which obviously was detrimental at some point.
Right.
And I had to focus on learning all the things I needed to learn to be able to rectify some of the stuff that was happening. So for me, I would say it took me probably a good 4 years to actually learn technology itself, because I'm still an agency owner. I was still dealing with apps that had wet signatures on them. I have like 7 filing cabinets, in a storage room here that still have, paper things that are in them. So making that jump just for me personally took a while. And then when I made the jump, went into actually building software. It was a whole nother learning curve, understanding how to, manage products and ship and roll things out and then sell them. I mean, it was a whole, I'm still learning, right? It never ends.
Yeah. I think,
what about you guys? I mean, you made the same jump.
I'm seeing my next business solution after Glovebox, and
it's going to be an insurance agent rage room that's full of file cabinets and fax machines and all of the old crap that people are using, and you can go rage.
So instead of building things, you just break things.
You break things.
That seems easier.
You get real mad.
A lot easier.
You break it.
I like that. I bet we could fill up an entire
set of cords on fire.
Set them on fire. Maybe be pictures of underwriters. I don't know what we'll put in there, but could be exciting.
Yeah, I think we had a very similar take. You get in, you get excited, you think, how hard could this be? You know the problem. You see how you're going to fix it, but it's like doing a home improvement project. Like, how hard could it be to take down that wall and move the plumbing? Then you get in and you're like, oh, God. Like,
Sean, tell us about your home improvement story. Because that's probably the slipperiest slope, which is Glovebox to a T, I think. It really is.
Yeah, it really is. So I've got, my house has we drive in through the alleyway. I came in through a gate, driveway into the garage, so had to drive through the yard. I always wanted to get rid of that because I've got little kids and I don't want to run them over,
Oh, nice.
Super
It's nice
easy.
of you.
This gate had a loose bolt on it. And so I had a handyman come out that I'm friends with, and I just, it was right during COVID, right when everything was on sale, right when you had nothing to do. And I had been offered these garages, these steel garages that, were like 60% off. I had been looking at doing this project, and I was like, hey, man, while you're tightening this bolt, like, what do you think about this thing? He goes, dude, you have to buy this. Like, that's a crazy deal. I'll help you put it up. It'll be super easy. We can use most of your driveway. He's like, well, I have it done in no time. And I was like, cool. Called my buddy who's a realtor. I was like, hey, man, if I convert this garage into living space, but I can't bust into my house because it was attached but detached, it's a different story. But he's like, yeah, it's extra square footage. It's not going to hurt you. So I was like, all right, cool, let's do it. I literally, 2 weeks later, had someone out jacking up all the concrete, took down the fence, ordered the garage, and then I ordered doors for my garage door. So for about 4 or 5 months, my house was completely open to the elements and the alleyway for, at least 4 months. I ordered doors from China. This project that I thought was going to be like a loose bolt took 10 months, and I did most of the work. And
every other week it was, man, while you're at it, dude, you should just do this.
Well, the door is
Like,
the
you
wall's
can't
open. You
not
should
do
move the
that.
plumbing here. And well, if you want, there's the gas line. If you want to put in a fireplace, the wall's open. We should run the gas right there. And you're like, yeah, you're totally right. We absolutely should. And if you want to put a washer and dryer upstairs, you should put this electric right here. And I was like, yeah,
from a
absolutely.
loose bolt to what, 700 extra square feet and a detached garage, and you move your stuff upstairs. Like this project was hilarious.
Exactly, like building.
Yes,
software.
that's how
Like
Glovebox
somebody comes
was.
in, they're like, we're just gonna make this feature.
I built the prototype of Glovebox. It was called Cover Dash, and it was on ClickFunnels. Have you guys ever used ClickFunnels?
No.
ClickFunnels is like a replicatable landing page.
Yeah, landing page builder.
Where you can build like marketing automation. So I made it on ClickFunnels, and I was like, wow, that was pretty easy. Look at how cool this is. Why don't we sell our agency and go build something like this and just connect it to the carriers? No big deal.
Oh, could that
That was the loose bolt on Sean's gate. And now it's turned into like this.
Wait a minute, why can't we put a button right there?
While you're at it, might as well just
put the button in.
Yeah.
And then the warning sign, and then if they click that button, then what happens next?
What's next?
Yeah, it's always.
It's ridiculous. So, what projects do you guys focus on? I know you build AMS systems, CRMs, right? I think you guys are more trending on the AMS side, though, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yeah, we trend more. We get a lot of calls. I get so many calls from agency owners that that they've got an AMS and it does like 80% of what they need.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
And then but the 20 that they're missing is like their niche. So it happened to me. Mine was COIs, right? Because I was contractor heavy in Florida. And it was like everything about my AMS is great, but it doesn't do this thing that cost me like for headcount in my agency. So I need to, and we get that a lot. So we're turning towards either building out custom AMS solutions for agency owners or like trying to supplement something that already works, like trying to manipulate it so they can continue to use something that they already have in place, but add on to it. So that, and on the agency space, that's where we're killing it right now.
So are you trying to, you're trying to build something that integrates to their current system, or are you trying to build your own thing to say, hey, well, if that's not working, why don't you check this one out?
Yep. And a lot of times we're vetting them. So not all AMSs are built alike, and they do have plus and minuses based on, what an agency does.
Sure.
What they specialize in. So helping them sort of navigate that and place them in an AMS, they're looking. And then you guys, I have to tell you this, what goes along with that, data migrations and adaptation and all of the things that happen that you don't think about. And that's my warning sign to people when they call in. It's like, I've got a $20,000 budget and I want a new AMS. I'm like, ooh.
So you want a Porsche, but you're getting a Kia, basically, is what it is.
And even if you buy something pre-made, just data, moving data and deduping alone is an endeavor.
That's actually a good point. I want to dive deeper into that because I find that a lot of agencies know generally what they want in technology, but they don't want to spend money for it because they don't understand the initial investment and what is it gonna return, right? Because I think there's been such a lack in good technology, like you said, Margeaux, where they haven't seen a return on investment. Everything's been an expense.
Right.
And so they're not actually understanding that paying for,
So it's hard. It's like they'll have like, they don't think about DocuSign and Outlook and Gmail as being part of their tech stack.
Sure.
But it is.
Sure.
And they're not looking at the cost holistically either, where they're like, well, I only spend $60 a month on my AMS. I'm like, yeah, but you have significant other technology you're utilizing in addition to an AMS that
Right.
you're not counting either.
Right.
So I think what they consider their tech stack is smaller as well. Like they're not thinking about those things.
Do you think that there is a shift that is happening right now? I personally think there is. So maybe this is like a loaded question, where it's our job as maybe this next wave of InsurTech to educate agencies on tech should not be cheap, but it should also be effective style, where it's not just spending $40 a month on something and thinking that it's going to solve all your problems.
It's like everything else though, because there's a spectrum, right? So I've seen people that will automate things that have no business being automated.
Sure.
I'm like, you just spent, $15,000 on this automation, and you're going to like, they're not looking at it in terms of ROI either.
Right.
They're like, oh, well, somebody in accounting said this is hard, so let's build a whole system around it. And a lot of what I do is trying to decode what their actual needs are, because they'll come and they'll say, I want an AMS, but really they might just need like a MailChimp plugin or something, right? Because they really just want to do marketing. So they still don't know exactly what it is that they want. So the first part is always like digging in and being like, these big, broad, vague statements of I want automation, or my favorite with the guys like,
The buzzwords.
I know I need an API, but I don't know what it is. Like, well, you probably don't need an API.
Get the API. It's just
That's not how that works.
Just grab the API, plug it in, you're good.
So they're learning though. They're coming to the table now, and they know they need it, but they still don't know exactly where to go and what exactly they need to spend the money on.
There's still some technologies, and one in particular, I won't mention them by name, but there's a CRM that they were underpricing themselves in the market so drastically that I think it was tainting the market. It was tainting agents' view of tech as a whole in the industry because of how cheap they were selling their product. I was like, how is that possible that they're selling it so cheap? Because you and I both know what it costs to create good tech. It is super expensive.
Really expensive. Yeah,
we have had 3 to 4 large agencies, one of which sent us a cease and desist, who told us, hey, we're going to go build our own. So we don't need you.
2 years later.
Cool.
And they came back to us. And they were like, we couldn't do it. Because it's fucking hard. It's not
even like multi-billion-dollar carriers that we work with, they say the exact same thing. And like, it has nothing to do with money. I mean, sometimes it does, obviously, right? But even people with billions of dollars and years worth of data are still being like, okay, well, thanks, we're going to go build it ourselves. But then they come right back around and they like, hey, can we re-engage? Because we got all these developers, but now these developers don't speak the language of insurance. No, but there's not an insurance SME anywhere to be fucking found on any of these companies.
Blind leading the blind.
My mind apart.
And even with tech, one thing our CTO did a good job of letting us know, as we've taken money and been looking to expand.
Did you say we took his money?
We took his money.
Oh, okay,
It's very sneaky.
Nice.
It's not something you can just throw money at either and just go, cool, we're going to get more devs. And it's like, you can have more cooks, but you still gotta.
Doesn't make the food better.
Yeah, you gotta.
don't know how to
think
cook.
through it, and that Margeaux, you said it, Daniel, you said it too. Is if they don't know insurance, it's such a nuanced product that from a surface level you can see it, but it's all the workflows.
And even
the
if
little
you
things.
know insurance, there's so many different sides of the business.
No one knows insurance. This is what I always try to tell somebody, because they'll bring in an SME from that was a business analyst at Chubb, and I'm not picking on Chubb, but just that sat in a room and worked on a part of a product inside Chubb. And you're like, even as an agent, I always go for agents because agents typically have a wider, range because they're dealing with lots of carriers and lots of products. But even me at 15 years, I couldn't tell you anything about marine pollution insurance. I know as much as Danny knows about marine pollution. There's no expert in the world that knows all facets of insurance. And so you get these companies and they go out and they're like, we got a insurance SME. I'm like, great. Like you probably got coverage on 3 lines of business now. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You know?
They're from Cigna, and I'm like, like health
Awesome.
insurance is not the same, bro.
Did it?
PNC.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really funny to see it happen. And I think with tech companies in particular, they don't they're much more apt by developers, right? Because that makes sense to them. Like, yes, we can increase staff and we'll scale with developers, but they don't scale with
Purpose.
on the SME side.
The why are we
No.
building this?
And they don't
Like,
they don't scale with purpose. Like it's blind leading
not.
the blind. They don't have a path.
They'll figure it out when they get there, you know? And it's like
It's agile, guys.
if you don't stay in your lane, man, you will get in trouble. Like
I'm not going to go build a reinsurance platform.
like I don't know anything about that. Like I'm going to
Say
leave
never.
that
to relay. Like I don't want anything to do with it.
no, after
I don't
you
think
break
so.
the file cabinet's
Okay.
business.
So again, my point is tech is expensive and it's complex and it's difficult, and it's our job as I guess the second or third wave of insurtech, whatever you want to call us and you guys, it's our job to educate agents on what good tech should cost, but also what it should return. And I think that's
Right.
what's been missed by these tchotchke $99 a month platforms. It's like, yay, here's $99. It's like that ain't gonna get you very far. That's
Well,
yeah.
and the whole idea too, there's been this push recently of like, you know, we need a single platform to do all the things.
Yeah.
Which I'm not going to lie to you, was when I first got in, I was like, yes, that's what I want. I want one login. I want to do all the things. But as I matured and went through this process, could you imagine you could never build it? It would be an endless build of things.
It's like
right?
it's like the realtor that does the mortgage and the
Insurance. That's what it's like. It's super cheesy.
Yeah.
like
With
not good at any one of them,
you know.
A jack of all trades and master of none.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening is you get platforms that come on and they try to do all of the things, and they're not focused on just PNC, or they're not focused on, you know, reinsurance platforms or rating platforms, and they try to put all of them into a single product. And basically you get just like fragments of everything and nothing really works well.
and that's what's
so
wrong.
I've moved away from that, and I'm looking at like, what is the good software that makes all of this integration seamless?
Yeah.
So the user's not moving platforms, but you're getting the best tech. You know what I'm saying, as opposed to one giant platform that has kind of nothing.
The
Nothing.
Yeah, the hard part about that is, you know, certain AMS systems that say they work with other vendors, but in fact they don't, because they want to push all of their own products and only half of them work. That's the problem.
But I've seen like there's some really smart people working around that right now. Like I've seen some really impressive stuff lately. And I think some of the bigger competitors are just, they have to open up. You'll start to see it now. Like, okay, we'll build that API documentation for you, or we'll allow this integration, because you can't corner the market that way. That the market's not going to support that. Like, we're not going to buy it anymore.
No, agents are not going to be
They're looking
blind to this anymore. Like they're
no
starting
one
to.
was looking. No one was looking 3 and 5 years ago, 6 years ago. It was just, nope, this is the way it's done.
Sean, you know what I think is hilarious?
No, do tell.
So we'll meet with an agency about Glovebox, which obviously will knock their socks off, of course. And then they turn around a day later and said they don't have time to figure out how to put in Glovebox because they're too busy servicing.
Ew.
That is amazing. That's like saying you're wet because you jumped in the pool and not understanding why. I don't get it. Don't jump in the pool of service. Get Glovebox and stop complaining. So I want to shift gears. I want to go over to Danny boy over here. And Margeaux, you as well. We interviewed Liv Kaufman last week, which was tremendous. She's a huge I know. She's fantastic. Little fun fact, she worked at a chicken shop. So she is a
concierge of fried chicken is really what it is.
Yeah, really.
So
little known fact.
I know. Little fun fact for you on Liv Kaufman. But she's part of InsurEquality. You guys are very engaged with InsurEquality. We just got our pledge done with InsurEquality.
I want to hear how you guys got involved with it and where it's going and just kind of the whole plans for that that company and that nonprofit, if you will.
Yeah. So the vertical is like the funny thing about insurance and insurtech, it's very incestuous and very small, but everybody is very fucking mighty. Liv, she actually has an elevated role in insure quality as well too, which is great.
Nice.
So insure quality started because I do not come from the world of insurance. So I don't have like a cautionary policy holder in the back of my mind telling me to calm the fuck down. I come from fintech. And in fintech, we don't give a fuck. We got to get shit done because if we don't get shit done, it's money.
Yep.
So going into insurtech, I started realizing that, I'm a gay, to be honest, I'm a gay Mexican vegan Jew. I am all the boxes.
Man, you are checking boxes.
You have all
I love that.
I'm hitting these boxes. So, and as I was navigating my way, becoming, figuring out partnerships for GoGiles, figuring out who were the best key players that we need to get in contact with to collaborate on technology that's emerging and whatnot. Some people wanted to talk to me and some people didn't. And then I had to sit there and I'm like, oh, maybe it's because this or maybe because of that, but I don't know. And then I started trying to find talent for us. And it's super hard to find the talent, but I am a fucking unicorn hunter and I will find these fucking people. And I did.
God, I love that.
And as I was going through, I was looking for people who had both commercial insurance, P&C lines experience, and then they speak the language of software,
right?
And those unicorns, right? I found a few of them. I found a lot of them, but they were all been in the company for 10 or 15 years. They were all women, and they were all held down in lower positions.
Right.
And it really pissed me off that I came across this, and I scooped them all out, and I went on an anti-sexism rant on LinkedIn. And one of my buddies who works in strategy for the Hartford, he was like, hey, you need to go talk to this one lady. Go talk to Alyssa.
Yeah.
Go look. And she, going through her own thing. Alyssa, she's the CEO of Insure Quality. She was the COO of her company. She tried to buy her agency. She got in writing that she couldn't buy her agency because she was a woman.
Wow.
Yeah, stupid, because she got it in writing.
Wow.
And then, from that collaboration, we just decided to join forces, and then everybody kind of started pouring in. We have a process of people, signing pledges, and we just got approached by Forbes magazine to be having an article, because a part of the pledge is asking people to not sign NDAs when they're going through investigations for sexual harassment or anything like that. It's actually against the law in California, New York, and New Jersey to ask for that already. Nice. And most people don't know that you can, even if they sign an NDA, NDAs are not enforceable by federal law when there's a sexual harassment or a sexual allegation. And people don't know that. There's just not enough education around it.
Got it.
So, that was kind of like people were jumping on board with that. The future is bright with Insure Quality because of people like you at Glovebox, people like Liv at Armadillo, GoGiles, like you guys, Agency VA just signed on, like all the really big, cool people that are in InsurTech. You guys are really making a name for us. And because of that, I'm forever grateful for you guys. Just having your guys' name attached to our initiative is really opening up the doors to some craziness. And we're moving over into expanding into tech and to banking next year.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome.
It's super cool, man. It really is. It's almost like one of those things where maybe I was a bit jaded by the need for it. I didn't even realize that it was a need because I surround myself.
A true white man in insurance.
I surround myself with, dude. I go to Gay Pride every year with my friend Kevin. Like we go every single year. I bring my entire family. Like I'm around it so much. When we go to LA, we go to West Hollywood and ball out, man. Like we love it. It's super fun. So I've never even realized that it was a thing that needed to happen.
Yeah.
And now that I see what you guys are doing and who's actually stepping up to say, yeah, duh, like, of course, and maybe the ones that aren't. And it's like, oh,
I see it almost becoming a thing where it's like maybe companies make a decision on who they work with based on what they stand for, which is a really weird concept if you think about it.
I mean, it's awesome. Just getting the conversation out there and letting people, having it out in the public makes it easier to talk about for people. And,
let them make a choice. Give them the choice to know, the consumer the choice to know who they're going to deal with. And then choose it. It doesn't have to be one way or the other, but not knowing and being a patron of something that you would disagree with otherwise. That's not fair either. Let them make the choice.
Yeah, and getting stuck at a company for a long time, not understanding their values, right? Which is, tragic in a way. So, no, we are equally as appreciative to be involved. We think it's an amazing opportunity and an amazing organization, and I'm pumped to see where it goes because I think it's going to be huge. So,
well, if you want to speak about a rage room, and then uplifting the right voices and whatnot, we actually, because we are InsurTech nerds and we're tech nerdies, InsurQuality is coming out with a digital product next month. It's called Medusa Score. It's going to compete with Glassdoor, NerdWallet.
Nice.
It's going to be industry specific.
Yeah.
We have a few patents out there for some what they're called safe haven questions, where you can go and rate insurance companies, banks, tech companies, and it's meant for employees to come and rate the company, and then for consumers to come and rate the company.
Yeah.
We're going to push up the voices of the people that are actually doing the work, that are actually doing really good work in culture, not just beyond diversity and inclusion, but like culture and company and culture and whatnot. And the companies that are doing real shitty,
let them.
They're going to be on there as well.
Insert evil laugh there.
Yeah, let them get exposed. Yeah. Well, cool. No, I love that.
Ryan's got an interesting idea that I've always
liked.
Is
it wearing black shirts during a podcast?
Well, of course.
Because we nailed that.
But
I'm out.
We're like a boy band. There you go. Look at Danny Boy. My God, it's like we're mind mouthing all three of us.
A rating software where you can rate your clients, like a reverse Yelp.
That I do like.
I like that one.
I like
that.
that.
You could say, hey, this is a bad client. You don't want
Dan,
this one.
like an Uber rating for your client.
It'd be great.
Especially insureds. You got those. You have those list of insureds that cancel every month, and
maybe they get a surcharge off of their rating.
Ooh, as it turns out, you've got a pretty
so
bad
if you're a
rating
shitbag client, like you get a rating, you get a surcharge, and maybe it'll make you think twice before you send that email.
Dan Marks,
you are really trying to get me a cease and desist, aren't you?
God, I love this.
Well placed.
Sean has a voicemail on his phone from 3.5 years ago?
4 years ago.
4 years ago?
Yeah.
We had this client, and this guy was going through a divorce. And so during the divorce, he would call Sean, and then his ex-wife would call Sean to deal with the insurance because they both thought it was their company.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. So when the payment lapsed for the second time?
Third time,
the third
actually.
time,
It's
because
the
they
third
couldn't
time.
figure out who was handling the billing on it. He left Sean an amazing voicemail that we kept, and we should post it as part of the podcast.
Yeah, we should post it. It's super funny.
I want to hear it.
You can tell that he's trying to not curse, and he goes,
You could just hear
"What
his
a
anger.
bunch of bozos."
I'm gonna leave
a bunch of
unfavorable reviews on 20 sites. Google, Yelp, and then he pauses because he can't think of any others.
Nothing else.
He was so
When in
livid.
fact his ex-wife was supposed to handle the billing for the third time. It's tremendous. We'll post it with the podcast.
Yeah, that'll be
it's
good.
Sean's Bible. I think he listens to
man.
it once a week.
I do. It puts a smile on my face.
It's so good. So
If you're feeling down, record one of your raging clients' voicemails and
Listen to it. It's motivation.
We've done a bunch of exposing love triangles. We've had a couple at the agency where we had a guy put his girlfriend on the policy. Calls up to pay. Yeah, we've had that.
so,
It's got a lot of offshoots with what you guys do.
Yeah, I like this.
Now I see why it was hard to answer.
There's a lot of
you do the monologue.
There's a lot of opportunity here. You're going to get a lot of investors calling. Like, man, this company,
Did you ever
sky's the
see
limit.
that Cheaters show where the guy ended up getting stabbed?
no.
Remember that show?
No, yeah, I remember
Cheaters, and
the
the guy
show,
would
but
go
I-
expose people for cheating. Do you guys remember that show?
Jesus.
Yeah.
The
We're all
host
millennials. Of
got
course we do.
stabbed on air. On one of them. One of the people.
Order of the Rose is that what it was called? War of the Roses or something like that.
No, it's
I think it was
Cheaters.
Cheaters. Yeah, it was
Oh,
Cheaters.
Yeah.
the TV show. Yeah,
The show was great.
Stabbed?
Yeah, it was always like, man, I mean, I get
What
you're
a bummer.
exposing something that's wrong, but you're kind of an asshole about it, like the way you're doing it. And then, yeah, one of the episodes, he gets stabbed.
Wow.
I was like,
And they still aired it.
kind of had it coming. I don't think it was like that bad of a stabbing.
Oh,
you know.
like a minimal
a
stabbing.
little, like a
Little
pocket
thing.
knife.
Is there degrees of stabbings?
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like a-
Not that bad of a stabbing. It's like, okay,
like-
you're not.
it's like
that
someone
evil.
It's
calling
not
in
like
sick.
Rambo.
It's
like
like someone
Rambo
calling in
gotcha. Like he didn't get gutted.
Someone calling in sick on Monday. It's like, I got stabbed, and you're like, well, it was a minimal stabbing though.
That was a
like,
tiny little pocket knife.
You should
You're
be
fine. You're fine. You better get in here.
It's like an American thing.
Sharp
Like, you got a
butter knife.
little stab. It's fine.
Nice.
You can go into work.
So let me ask you guys a question. Margeaux, you live in Florida, right? If I'm not mistaken. And Daniel,
Yep.
and Daniel, you're in Cali.
Yep.
How does this dynamic work? How does the company function with you guys being so far away? Like, how do you guys just operate?
We have people all over the world. I mean, we have dev teams, obviously, we in India and Israel, and we're everywhere. I think this is COVID age, man.
Yeah,
This is the new norm now. We all have to just make it work.
nice.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Well,
I mean, GoGiles has been remote before it was cool. So, like, it's been remote since like 2018, 2019.
Before it was cool.
Before it was cool. But it
Before
had
it
to
was super
because
cool.
you had to. You can't find all the talent that you need to run your company, this InsurTech company, in Tampa, Florida. Like, it's just,
Right.
or San Diego or Milwaukee. Like, it's unreal.
It's hard to find it in the United States. Like,
Yeah.
it's
Definitely
such a
not Milwaukee.
difficult role knowing software and insurance. Like, there's so few people that can do it that there's no way we could limit it geographically.
well,
So-
when Danny's booze is missing out of his office, who does he blame it on then? Like, there's no one to blame it on but himself.
He's on Danny.
Whoops! My God, that bottle shrunk in
Danny.
a hot second. What
Yeah.
happened?
Danny.
All right. So we want to go into a segment we do with all of our guests. We're going to ask you guys random questions, and we're looking forward to your answers. We're going to go with Margeaux first. Margeaux, who are you cheering for? And it is completely open-ended.
Like,
Anything.
just anybody?
Anything. Could be Sean's
Right
hair.
now?
I don't know.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I wonder when someone's gonna say one of us. That'd be
I feel like Chris Rock needs some cheering on at the moment after his Oscar situation. I'm here for Chris Rock right now.
bad.
Was it
Turned out like a champ.
was it staged or was it not? And if it was not, was Will Smith being a little bitch about it?
I don't know, man. That looked so. At first, you're like, that was staged, and then you see the uncut. You're like, I don't know. Chris Rock looks a little shaken up.
It was
And then
loud. Yeah.
did you see the meme where they did like a 4K
Yeah.
investigation and it looked like he had padding on his cheek or something? I'm like, okay, this is good.
Do
Getting
you
that much.
do you think that Jada would have hit him harder? Because I do. I think Jada would have hit a lot
It's
harder
a
than
pretty
Will.
stiff wrist.
I bet Jada. She looks like she packs a punch. That one.
Yeah,
So-
she's scary. She's scary. I think. I don't know, man. I could be convinced it was both. I'll tell you that I didn't know the Oscars was on until
I'm with you there.
the end of the week. I had no idea it was Oscar night. So
There you
if
go.
it was a rating thing, I think it was probably pretty successful.
I don't know what the Grammys are
Gonna do to top that.
Yeah, they're gonna have to
What are
bring
they
it
gonna
out.
do? They're gonna have to do something. Yeah.
Adele in a headlock. I don't know.
Yeah, Adele's gonna hit Taylor Swift.
Ooh, that a bit for.
She's going for the front kick though.
Logan would not like that. Logan's a T Swift
Yeah,
fan.
he'd be upset.
Yeah, he would be very upset. Danny, who are you cheering for, man?
Booze.
I don't know why, but I feel the word that keeps pouring over my soul is Lizzo. And she don't need me to cheer for her.
No, I know why we're cheering for Lizzo.
Is it her new show on Amazon?
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't be cheering for her that much because I saw it and I passed it up. I'm like,
Yeah, it was
that's all I got.
terrible. We started it last night. I was like, Cammy, I can't. I like Lizzo. I'm a fan, but this is not good.
Well, maybe she's some cheering for
yeah.
him.
That's why I'm cheering for her because I know her energy.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe you could do a little bit better. Maybe that's just me, but I love her music and I love her presence and I love what she represents. But when I watch interviews, I'm like, I'm okay.
I feel like
good.
she doesn't need a reality show. Like, she's too good for that right now. Like, you know, she's too hot right now. Like, you don't need that.
She should have consulted you.
Yeah.
You know,
That was her bad.
I don't really know what's up with that. Yeah,
That wasn't a good look. And to choose Amazon of all places, like, choose something better.
Yeah.
Like, Amazon,
Or a paycheck.
that's like fourth in line. That's like the fourth tier. Oh, poor Lizzo. All right, next question. Margeaux,
Yes.
what are you listening to
Right now.
right now?
I'm listening to Billie Eyelash, which is what my 10-year-old calls Billie Eyelash.
Oh, I thought you were serious at first.
Her name is Billie Eyelash to me forever.
Nice,
That's what I'm listening to right now. But I have a really bad habit of listening to Megan Thee Stallion incredibly loud in my office. And
Sounds like a good habit.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great habit.
You know,
Megan Thee Stallion's good. I was listening to Mac Miller earlier, and it was as graphic.
I was
So-
listening to a techno song of The Wolf of Wall Street on repeat.
God,
while
I
making
love
calls.
that. Ba, ba, ba.
Yes, I love that. Danny, what are you listening to?
Margot's gonna roll her eyes right now, but I have this weird obsession with Christmas music, and I listen
Oh,
to
God.
Stop it.
No way.
Stop
Are you
it.
serious?
I literally listen to Christmas music all year round. When I got
Stop it.
married in July, I walked down the aisle to the instrumental of Jingle Bells. Do not judge my journey.
Stop it.
I have receipts. We're gonna post your call, and I'm gonna send you a video of Danny
Did
sitting
you
in my kitchen.
That's so
singing
great.
Christmas songs.
did you make your groomsmen dress like
I
elves?
have no problem with the title
Were they
of
your
this
elves
one.
as well?
No, but the officiator, the lady who the witchy lesbian who had waved a stick over my head on the beach somewhere. Margot knows that reference. She knew that we were really Christmas heavy, so she wore reindeer antlers.
Oh,
I'm being
that's great.
that serious.
That's great.
do you just ball out during Christmas? Is that like your time to shine? Are you like a show pony?
It
during
sounds as if
Christmas?
it
Mariah
doesn't
Carey
stop.
has
So
nothing.
much Mariah, you guys. It's so
Mariah
good.
Carey has nothing on fucking me. I am like Mariah Carey and Michael Bublé into one person. I wish you fucking would
Danny,
try
you could be her gay Nick Cannon.
That could be you. You could be her gay Nick Cannon.
goals.
That was not expected.
Goals, bro.
I
Goals.
love that.
Jingle Bells.
Jingle Bells. This is gonna be pumped up.
So good.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
We have a song that we play every Monday before our meeting, and we let someone choose
Choose it. Next week, it's Jingle Bells.
If somebody did Christmas music, you'd be like, what's going on?
It just changes your
What's
mood.
that?
Like you could be in a shitty mood, and next
It's
thing you hear
beginning to look-
Michael Bublé. Tell me you will.
I'm with you.
I'll
I'm
dare
with
you.
you.
Put
Christmas
on a
music
Michael
does make
Bublé
you feel
Christmas
jolly.
album.
I don't know.
Pour some wine and just chill out on a Thursday afternoon. In
Might be
July.
onto something.
I'm like super offended if I start hearing Christmas songs before
December 1st. I'm a little bit offended. And then if
I
my
mean, Danny's
neighbors
listening to it, and it's March 30th.
if my neighbors still have their Christmas lights up in February, I'm like, what the fuck, Jim? Take
Get
your
'em
goddamn
down.
Christmas lights down.
My kids are
God
asking
damn
about
it. I know.
We had ours up until at least February, until Valentine's Day.
See, I've trained my kids. I just don't put them up at all. I'm like, look, they're broken.
That's
What are you
good
gonna do? Every year, they're broken. What are you gonna do? Daddy's not gonna fall off a fucking ladder for your Christmas lights. It ain't gonna
Yeah,
happen.
you've been in insurance too long. You
I
know
know.
the risk of it.
I know.
It's not worth it.
You know, I can't do it, man.
It's a single story house, though. I mean, it's.
Yeah, it's dangerous,
You'll be
man.
fine.
There's a lot of a lot of loose concrete.
I bet you could reach up and put your
I
legs.
could, but I'm not going to. Don't tell my kids that. Next question is for we're gonna go Danny on this one, and then we're gonna go back to
Snake it.
Margo.
We're going back.
Danny, what are you reading?
Oh,
Christmas.
The night before Christmas.
Oh, typical conversations.
difficult conversations. How to discuss what matters the most. I am a foster father to teenage boys, nonetheless,
Yep.
and every single day is a fucking hard conversation.
Yep.
And so that and the Mariah Carey Christmas.
Albums.
The Mariah Carey had to be more like Nick Cannon.
Book of traditions.
You could not have asked me a more embarrassing question because
Oh, this will be good.
All right,
my
is it like
little known fact
Tech
and
for
Danny's gonna
Dummies?
laugh.
Gotta say it. You gotta set the whole scene too, Margo. Set the whole scene.
I can't even show you the book cover because I read like the most disgusting, dirty romance novel.
Oh,
There
come on.
we go.
You gotta put it up.
I love this.
You gotta put it up here.
You
Come
know
on.
what? Forget reading motivational books or like business.
It's on Kindle.
like-
I'll see if I can find one and put it up. there
No,
so you
that's
guys can
interesting.
have-
So my mother-in-law's name is Margeaux, and
Nice.
she also likes romantic novels.
Oh wow. This could be like a group, like a
I'm gonna
Facebook
have to
group
ask
of
her how
Margos
dirty
that
she likes
read
those
dirty,
romantic
raunchy.
novels, though. We'll see.
romantic novels.
That's the wall, man.
Oh,
Hold on. It was the one I'm reading right now. Let's see.
Is that a Minotaur?
What is it? What's it called?
Is embrace.
Oh God. Oh man.
Whenever I get my hands on.
Margeaux
it's
pours
really-
herself a sweet Bordeaux and
Listen to some Billy
Fog
Eilish.
on the cover. No, but the worst part is like it's cute, but I read like 50 of them a month.
what?
I was gonna say that your webcam looked a little
Wow.
foggy. So,
Wow.
looked a little steamy.
I
over there.
I have a streak going on Amazon. I think I'm on 170 weeks straight of reading on my Kindle. So I read a ton. I mean, I don't always read the slutty romance novels, but reading is like one of my huge passions. But I do read to escape. So I'm working all day and like I don't know what it is when you come home. You know, you don't want to crack open an autobiography. Like I want
No,
to.
you don't want to read management tips on how to like better
I
engage
do it all
your
day.
staff.
I don't want to do that. I want to, live in fantasy land. So, I do, but it is one of my guilty pleasures.
That's all right.
100%.
Everybody's got them. Mine
This is
are
going well. 2 for 2.
mine are the garbage shows on E.
I love Summer House. I think it's hilarious. I love the garbage on it.
Below Deck. What's the other one?
I like Below Deck. It's not bad. I used to watch Vanderpump Rules in the past. That was fine.
Fun fact.
I tried to grab Lisa Vanderpump's dog one time when I was at Pump. I was hammered, wasted.
Lisa came in
holding her dog, and I
Pump?
went,
No. I grabbed it. I was being very appropriate. I went, Lisa,
First and
let me
foremost,
hold
you're
your
just gonna
dog.
pass
and I tried to
over-
grab her dog, and she did not like it.
You're gonna pass over the fact that you were at a gay bar. That's
I told you, man, when me and my wife and Logan and Caitlin were there, when we go out to LA, we ball
Yeah.
out, man.
I
We're
got
in
the
West
photos.
Hollywood. That's our scene.
that
Looks
is
like you're having a
that's
great
a
time.
true ally. He's just like, oh yeah, we were at
Telling
Pump,
you,
and I'm
man.
like, hold up, whoa, you can't talk about Pump.
There is no. I challenge you to find a more fun bar during the day than on Saturday.
What's it called? The Citadel? Is that what it's called in LA? What's it called? Right on that corner.
In downtown LA or no?
In West Hollywood, they do like a drag show every Saturday. That shit was
Oh my God,
entertaining.
there's at the Abbey.
The Abbey. That's where we were
Yeah.
at.
Dawson Abbey?
That shit was entertaining, man. We sent photos.
I know.
You
I got
guys,
it.
we were having
It
the
was
best
great.
time.
Yeah, you had big smiles.
That place is
Big
awesome.
smiles.
the drag brunch on Sundays.
Yeah. I loved
best.
it. Yeah. Anyway, I went down a tangent. I tried to steal Lisa
Lisa Vanderpump's dog.
Pants. Oh, dog.
I might be
drunk right now.
All right, guys, I got to bring up something that really grinds my gears. You have any guesses?
service.
Yep, nailed it. I like just being out, on days when I'm not at the office, and even when I'm at the office, I don't want to be taking calls that have to do with basic stuff. It's things that I know my clients can do themselves. When we were at the agency, we'd get the calls all the time. Hey, can I have my ID card? Can I have my deck pages? Well, sure, but don't you want to just go knock that out yourself? Why are you calling me for that? Thank goodness we created a solution. It's called Glovebox. I think you should check it out.
All right. Next question.
we at?
Margeaux, we'll ask you.
Yeah.
What are you watching currently?
When you're not reading
I
raunchy
watch-
romance.
2 shows, which is I'm watching Parks and Rec again because
Nice.
it's the best. It's one of the best shows ever
Yeah,
made.
that's a great one.
And then I watch Will and Grace when I'm trying to fall asleep.
Nice. Do you watch do you listen to the podcast with Will Arnett and Smartless?
I have, but not regularly. But yeah,
When you're not listening to Cease and Desist. Awesome.
I'm not
Good question.
listening to you and reading romance novels and yes,
This dating profile is really shaping up nicely.
I'm a catch. What can I say?
Tanny, what about you?
I'm watching Minx on Hulu. No, Paramount Plus or one of those things. It's a mashup where this really feminist woman is like, I really in the 70s, and she wants to like create her own magazine, but the only people who will pick her up are is a porn magazine or a porn publication, and they input all her feminist ideas inside of like a male porno. So it's like the feminist mystique and then a big old dick right next to it.
Is this a
So
true
I'm
story?
like,
Or
wow.
Is this true?
Wow.
Or is this just
Yeah.
a show?
That sounds riveting.
Yeah,
It is the best show. I'm like, yeah, I'm here for it. I'm here for that little bit of education.
I see what
and
you're
then
cheering
throw in
I'm
a
here for a little bit of
That's what
education.
you're cheering for.
yeah, I'm here for that. And to be honest with you, majority of the time, I'm either watching the Golden Girls very gay, obviously. Or I'm watching those YouTube videos about haunted things when you see like little dead children just walking around. Like that's my shit. I go to sleep to that.
That's my shit.
Gosh.
This is awesome.
Like the best gift anybody can give me is a spirit box. If you give me a spirit box, I will love you for the rest of my fucking life.
Did you watch Ghost Hunters on A&E?
I watch it as a nostalgia, but I want to get the real show. I like seeing the ones when the ones in the Middle East.
You like
those
the real
ones
stuff.
are fucking insane. They're like they pray in Arabic, but you see actual like dead people walking by. I'm like that. Ooh, they are some haunted in Saudi Arabia. Let's go.
Nothing like falling to sleep to some spirits, some haunted spirits.
Sounds nice.
Fantastic.
Sounds relaxing.
Last question. Margeaux, what are you investing in currently besides GoGiles and
right
romance
now,
novels?
all my money's going to real estate.
Nice. Are you commercial, residential? What do you play?
Residential. Right now, residential. Yeah, but I'm in Florida, so like, it's like a free for all here.
Yeah.
Right now with real estate, it's crazy.
Do you hold them or do you renovate them and flip them? What do you do?
Hold 'em. Yeah, we do short-term Airbnb stuff, and
Nice.
then we have a couple long-term.
Nice.
I'm too scared of the stock market right now. I don't know. I don't trust it.
I don't trust it. I trusted it and then it
It smoked me, so I don't trust it at
all
all.
because
Yeah.
it smoked.
You
Yeah.
got your hand slapped.
Yes, I did. That was brutal. Danny, what are you investing in currently?
I wish I can say real estate, but I live in San Diego, so that's never gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
But I'm investing in obviously insure quality.
Mhm.
And I'm investing a lot into Tesla because I am that pretentious millennial gay.
You're that dude.
I am. I have a Tesla, but I have my kids, and gas prices in California are like $7 a gallon. And I'm not about that life. So my kids are going to get cars in the next couple of months. So they're all getting used Teslas.
I think you should get them rollerblades.
Scooters, I was gonna
Maybe
say.
rollerblades. Like bring rollerblading back.
They got that, but I'm sick and tired of driving their asses everywhere.
That's fair.
So
That's fair.
I think not enough people rollerblade anymore.
That's true.
It's a lost art.
It's coming back.
It's a lost art
It's coming
form.
back.
Down here, we have a whole rollerblading culture.
Oh
down
my
here.
God. Might have
Yeah,
to,
they're
man.
ready.
Strap on the rollerblades. I mean, this is not enough of that.
Like that though. But I mean, Tesla's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. Well, I can honestly say this has been our best cease and desist besides the other one that Andy missed.
Yep.
So that's two now.
Yeah.
And if he misses a third one, we're going to be looking for a fill-in, and I think we can get 2 more chairs for Margeaux and Danny because I think this has been amazing. We appreciate you
We'll have
guys.
to change the intro music to Jingle Bells or something.
Something
Oh
much
my
more
God.
Christmas Eve.
for the guest
It's
host.
so great.
We want to make him feel warm and fuzzy during
Get you,
the holidays.
get you an eggnog for your drink.
Do you
Do
celebrate
a
Christmas?
Megan Stallion Jingle Bells, and then it would be.
Ooh.
Oh, there we go.
Is that like the
That's
cri-
it.
Cardi B came out with a Christmas song. Let me tell you, it was wonderful.
Clap, clap, clap. It's like Christmas in July.
That's
Oh my
That's
God,
where we
Pussy
live.
popping them jingle bells. Yes.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for coming on the Cease and Desist podcast. We love what you guys are doing at GoGiles. We love what you guys are doing at Insure Quality. We're glad to be friends with you guys. I think it's amazing. Sean especially, he needs more friends. So we're happy there. And just all around kick-ass people. So we are pumped up.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yes.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It went by fast.
Yeah,
And
this
next-
is fun, guys. Thank you.
And next
for
time we
taking the
want to
time.
see you here in person, or we're coming down to.
We'll have to roll the dice between Florida and San Diego. They're both cool. So I could go either way on that one.
So-
You can go to Mexico for lunch. So
That I like. That I
Okay.
like. Is that
Done.
Tijuana though?
It is Tijuana. No one likes
it's Tijuana.
That was good.
Little detail you missed. All right. Thank you guys.
Have a lovely day.